So this is day five. First and foremost, this view in the morning was incredible, absolutely breathtaking. We were so lucky to get that room. So this is our last full day where we kind of went to the pyramids and then learned a bit more about ancient Egypt and went to Memphis, which is the old capital. So this was the Mamlouk Hotel in Giza. Obviously, it's a little bit smaller than the other hotels, but the view was obviously incredible. We managed to get a lovely view at breakfast right in front of the pyramids. So the Great Pyramid of Giza is the one on the right. It was the Pyramid of Khufu, and it took around 27 years to build. Obviously, the last standing seven wonders of the ancient world. So this is us going into the king's chamber. So that's the sarcophagus. There wasn't much in there, no paintings, no hieroglyphics, nothing. So there wasn't much to see, but obviously an amazing experience and something that's pretty cool. You can see being in one of the seven wonders of the world. So the height of the pyramid is 146.6 meters, and the base is roughly 230.3 meters. Obviously, no one truly knows how the pyramids are actually built, but if you ask most people, it would be obviously used ropes. They'd put the stone on like a roller or a sledge and pull it that way. Some people have said that the sand was wet to make it slippy and glide easier. So there's lots of like different people saying different things. This is me getting my Tajal must, I think that's how you say it, before our camel ride, going into the desert. It's a bit of an essential when you go into the desert, protects you from the sand and all that stuff. So this is us on the camels, a view of the pyramids, having a little wander around. So from this angle, it looks like the Pyramid of Khafre is the biggest one, which is the bit that has a bit of material that is still on top of the pyramid, just there you can see it. So you think that that would have covered the whole pyramid on all three of them, and the pyramids would have actually been like smooth. So these are all the tombs of the workers, and then this is the Great Sphinx with the head. It looks like the Pharaoh Khafre. We're now at the Saqqara pyramid, or the Step Pyramid. So the whole complex was built in the 27th century BC for the Pharaoh Jossa. So that's why it's called the Step Pyramid. Obviously, a little bit different to the other ones, but that's how they would have built it, layer by layer. So the person who built this was called Imhotep, and he was Chancellor of the Pharaoh, the High Priest of the god Ra. So he had a lot of respect. A lot of pharaohs respected him. So he created this whole complex for Jossa. So these are now tombs of people that were not quite as high as a pharaoh, but still pretty high in terms of ancient Egypt. So this whole complex was built in the third dynasty, and it took about 20 years to build everything. Obviously, you had there's a couple pyramids they had to build, and then all of these tombs, and then they obviously all the hieroglyphics had to carve in, and there was so much to do. So yeah, so that all that took about 20 years, and so this is the tomb of Princess Edith. So there's a lot of storytelling in this tomb. So the first thing we see carved into the wall here is people fishing. It's just amazing the amount of detail they managed to get into the wall. You can really like clearly see the fish and the nets and how they would do it. So yeah, it was amazing to see that. So on the end wall here is scribes tallying up people's assets. So these are now people taking offerings to her so that she has a an easy passage through to the afterlife. So there's a bench at the far end of the wall where they think that all these offerings would have been laid. So this is the false door that Egyptians believe that the soul of the dead would be able to enter and exit the tomb freely. So this is us in the Pyramid of Teti. It doesn't quite look like a pyramid, it kind of looks like a mound. But this is what was inside it. So these are stars. Obviously, that wall is full of hieroglyphics and cartouches, and yeah, it was amazing to see that. And then obviously the sarcophagus here. So we're now on our way to a carpet school. They call it a school because I think this is where they teach little kids. So this is me having a little go. These two are absolute ninja at it. They were doing it so quick. Look at the little guy, just getting it done. They obviously have the pattern there which they follow, and then yeah, it's just pretty cool to see them doing it. And obviously, I have loads of different people doing different patterns and different sections of the carpet. But this guy was actually able to do the carpet how he wanted, so he'd decide on the design, and just kind of do what he wanted to do, which is pretty cool. So this is the shop itself. The carpets are actually so comfy. Unfortunately, didn't get one. But yeah, I would highly recommend an Egyptian carpet. So this is now obviously Memphis, kind of like the ruins or what's left of Memphis. There's mainly it's more about the statues and there wasn't much to see. So this was Ramses II when he was in his like statue where he looks like he's going off to war. So if he's got one leg forward like that, it's usually his warrior statue. So there's some more statues, a stone with hieroglyphics on it. Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of ruins, a lot of statues. So this is another Sphinx. Obviously not the Great Sphinx by the pyramid, but this was you get a little bit closer to that one. And that's another statue of Ramses II. Not quite as big as the one that was inside that we saw. So Memphis was the last stop of the day, and then we stopped off to get some food. Again, a little Egyptian restaurant. We had some hibiscus. We ordered some lamb and chicken, and then they kind of brought out salads and all that stuff. Again, it was a lovely, lovely meal. Really enjoyed that. And then this is our way home back to the hotel. This was the little view from the motorway of the pyramids. So this is on our balcony at the hotel. Obviously, it's just I couldn't get off the balcony and stop looking. It was amazing just to have them so close and so clearly. So this was hibiscus, and the other drink is called salab. It's like a creamy kind of drink with nuts on top. So this is the pyramids again. Just can't stop looking at them. We were so lucky to get them so close. And that little pink head was the head of the Sphinx. So this is the Egyptian mall. So every time we go somewhere, Eloise has to get a Pandora charm. So this finished the day off, a little bag of sweets, and that was day 5.